Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here from Artificial Lawyer. Today we're doing a special video all about Legal Innovators California, which is our landmark event in the US, taking place in San Francisco on June 4th and 5th. To tell us a little bit more about it and to share her views, particularly on AI, is Danielle, who is at Baker McKenzie. Hi Danielle.
Hello, Richard. So nice to see you.
And great to have you back. And for the eagle-eyed among you, you may have spotted that she's actually part of the background from last year because she's such a great speaker. So just before we get into some of the subjects, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role?
Sure. Yes, I can see David Wang and I twinning in the background in our jeans and white t-shirts. So I lead the machine learning practice at Baker McKenzie, large global law firm. We're a multidisciplinary team, and so we are lawyers, data scientists, engineers, service designers, and others. And we are part of a much bigger AI strategy that dates back almost a decade at this point. But within that wider program, our job is to pilot business models that bring together our expertise and know-how and advanced AI. And our focus really is on what most other practices in law firms are focused on, which is solving concrete problems for clients.
Fantastic, great start. Well, let's drill into that a little bit. At the moment, can you tell us about any projects that you're working on or any initiatives more broadly that Baker McKenzie is focused on in relation to AI particularly?
Yeah, so our team predates this current paradigm shift. So for instance, we were working with GPT and other larger language models pre-ChatGPT. More recently, our work has really been focused on large client retainers and big service lines and solving specific problems, as part of different service collaborations we have with different practice teams. So to give you a couple of examples, we recently released a large customized model that powers one of our big global retainers for a big technology client of ours. This is in the employment space. So for this client, we work across many countries, about 45 or so, answering fairly routine employment queries, but also sort of based on very specific playbooks we've developed over the years with that client. So that custom model is in operation in that particular retainer. And then we're working with the client to roll out other models that sort of are focused on specific verticals of work within that retainer. And then to give you another flavor of work, we're working with our cybersecurity practice on something a little bit different, which is actually working with a big group of clients for whom we do a lot of large cybersecurity incidents. And so piloting a few different workflows to speed up and make more efficient, but also enhance the quality of that work. Speed is particularly important, obviously, because in a cybersecurity incident, every minute matters. So just to give you one example of something we piloted with that team is taking a large global incident or a large US incident and trying to get as quickly as we can to a call on what jurisdictions do we need to report to regulators in, and what individual consumers do we need to report to. So to give you a couple of examples, if we took a cybersecurity incident that affects people across all 50 US states, traditionally, the work that lawyers at certainly our peer firms and in the not too distant history at our firm have, the work that it's taken to parse through all the forensic data and come to different calls on who needs to be reported to and when, sort of like a multi-day, multi-lawyer effort, right? Even for kind of a small to medium incident, you're talking like 30 plus hours, right? We've released some workflows that compress that down to about a 2 to 3 minute workflow for certain types of incidents. So this is we rolled this out for US incidents, and now we're working with global teams to roll this out for global incidents. So those are kind of two examples, but there's a few others. IP technology work, tax work. I can dig into those if of interest too.
Yeah, no, and it's very interesting that you focused on building, you might say, products effectively. In terms of workflows.
Well, I mean, that's a really interesting comment, right? Because of the way that we view our work is really services. So Baker McKenzie, we're a big law firm, and what we're good at is selling legal services that solve specific client challenges. And so, we've been talking about machine learning and our business, for the past decade or so. So back in 2017, we said to the market that we thought the future model of large law firms was going to be something we called machine learning enabled judgment at that time. This to us is pretty consistent with that service model. So we have no ambitions to be a software company.
No,
We
no.
don't want to be a software company. We don't really want to be selling products off the shelf, because that is not what we do well. That's not what our business model is or what we're interested in. What we want to do is solve increasingly complex problems for our clients in this service model, leveraging AI. So it's really about AI-enabled services rather than selling software off the shelf.
Got you. And so where does this go then? So, I mean, do we get to a point, and whether it's Baker McKenzie or more broadly, from what you've seen of the market, do you see generative AI really impacting all parts of a practice group, of all the different workflows, or is this going to be kept in certain very discrete areas?
I love that question. So I think, very similar to other technology waves, this is inevitably impacting our industry. It is not optional, right? In the same way that using the internet is not optional, using computers is not optional, right? At this point, that's very clear. This is not something that people have a choice about using, right? It is just going to become a part of our businesses and a part of our everyday lives. So that bit is clear. It is certainly going to impact business models. I think for our business, what it really means is us just using this technology to solve increasingly complex challenges for our clients. And I think the most interesting opportunity for service providers like us is around solving challenges we haven't been able to solve before, right? So it's really about new services. It's not so much about automating existing services. I mean, we will absolutely be doing that. We will absolutely be making as many efficiency plays as we can for our clients and for our business too. But that's not really the true opportunity for us, right? The true opportunity is to help our clients solve all of those existential risks that continue to propagate for them. And I've talked quite a bit about this publicly, and I always refer to Dan Katz's great work over the years, looking at the exponential increase in legal complexity, right? And the way that I think about this technology is we have a problem that continues to advance for our clients, which is complexity of regulation. And that is all, of course, a reflection of increasing economic, social, and political complexity that is only growing for our clients. And I suspect our use of these technologies is also going to create regulatory complexity for our clients too. And in tandem, we have a technology that is also exponentially advancing, which is, in short, AI is getting really, really good at parsing through complexity of information and data, right? I mean, at the end of the day, what we're talking about is models that can generate and interrogate large volumes of data really, really fast, right? So that's an extremely useful tool for solving that wider complexity problem. So that's how we view it. I don't buy into sort of the replacement arguments. I think the industry is well past a lot of the hype that we saw a couple of years ago, and certainly the hype in that first AI wave that hit legal about 7 years ago. Hopefully, we as an industry are well past it. But this is not really about a replacement. This is about we as professionals solving increasingly difficult problems for our clients.
Fantastic. Well, that's a tremendous introduction to some of the themes which we'll be looking at Legal Innovators California. Really, I mean, just to wrap up, really, I mean, you've spoken there before, and it's been fantastic to have you. Why are you looking forward to it this year?
So as always, we love swapping notes with our peers in the industry. I think many of the problems that we are seeking to solve for our clients and many of the problems that we as an industry are seeking to solve, they're not going to be solved but for that sort of real industry collaboration. So that's why we participate. I always learn more than I put into these events. So I see them as immensely beneficial for us. And even just thinking about the day-to-day task that many of us are undertaking right now in our orgs, whether you're a part of an in-house team or part of a law firm or another service provider, is what does the stack for integrating these capabilities look like? right now. And I think a lot of the really productive conversations I've had recently have been around that, because again, this should be pretty obvious to most people in the industry by now, but this is about building capabilities. It is about building a capability stack. It's not about one model or one platform or one provider. Obviously, it's about something that's going to penetrate every single layer of your capability stack. And what that capability stack looks like really depends on the problems you're seeking to solve. But I think where we as an industry have a lot of alignment right now is, you've got your bottom base layer, cloud building blocks that many firms and others have been integrating into their businesses for quite some time. So that's your necessary cloud and data infrastructure. Then moving on up, you have all of the productivity tools that many firms, including our own, are just going to integrate as a matter of course. Microsoft Copilot being one example, but Google G Suite being another that a lot of in-house teams use as well. And then we get into sort of the multi-practice tool realm, right? That's where there's a lot of incumbent legal research players. And we also get players working in the kind of litigation transactional support realm, seeing a lot of integration of that technology into those products and services. Then you move up into single practice or function specific things. So IP management would be one example. And then finally, you reach that sort of pointy end of custom expertise, which is all about using varieties of tools to produce. And really, that's actually where my team at Baker McKenzie is operating, right? Which is about producing these client-specific, service-specific things. And I think we as an industry have, at this point in time, come to a more sophisticated place in the market conversation where we realize it's all about the stack. If you're a big org, you're going to have different people responsible for different layers of the stack. So all of those bottom layers are things that our CTO and our chief knowledge officer and others are responsible for. My bit is really that pointy end client-specific bit. And the other thing is all of those layers are increasingly integrating with enterprise tech, right? And that raises really interesting questions for us as an industry, particularly when it comes to that legal tech segment, right? Because that is a challenge to the sort of old platform opportunity, right? I'm one of those people in the industry who said for a number of years now, I don't know if there is a true platform opportunity for legal tech anymore. I think it's all about this increasing integration with enterprise tech and getting into your customers' workflows.
Wow. Well, it's good to hear that you're at the pointy end, which is the most exciting part anyway. So, and of course, in talking about various vendors and various models, there'll be a whole bunch of people at Legal Innovators California in San Francisco, June 4th and 5th, who will be presenting their products, some of which have literally today just launched. There's a whole bunch of other people and experts who are bringing their expertise, and Danielle will be one of them. And all I'll say for now is thank you very much, and we are very much looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really looking forward to it. I mean, I think there's opportunity in every single corner of the legal ecosystem right now. And I think every type of player has real opportunity to add value and to create commercial opportunity for them too.
Nice thoughts to end on. Thank you very much.